Hello and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. If this is your first time on this channel, you're welcome. Please subscribe if you are yet to subscribe, and also click on the notification bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. Today's video will be on how to cut a basic puff sleeve, and I'll be cutting two sleeves together. I want to cut a sleeve to add to a blouse I've already made, so I folded my fabric into two and then into four for cutting the two sleeves together. So I'm just ruling out a straight line, and from there I would start taking all my vertical measurements. So from this line I ruled, I will measure out my hemming allowance, which is 1 inch. I'm using 1 inch for hemming allowance, so I would rule out. So I'm taking 1 inch. From this 1 inch I ruled out, I would measure 10 inches, which is the length of the sleeve. So the actual length of the sleeve I want is 9.5 inches, so I'm taking 10 inches. That's half inch for joining the sleeve to the blouse. So from the start line I would take a measurement of 4.25 inches, which is the measurement for my cap's height. The cap's height I'm working with for this sleeve is 4.25. So I've noted the point and I'm ruling a line across. Then on this line I just ruled, I would impute 9 inches, which is half of my round armhole measurement. So I'll impute 9 inches, and from this 9 inches I'll connect to the start line, as you see me do with a straight line, connecting the two lines together. So I would find the middle point of this line I just ruled, and from that middle point I came up by half an inch. Then using my armhole curve, I will connect from the start line to this half inch I came up by, and then using a straight ruler I'll connect straight down to the 9 inches point on the cap's height line. So I've connected. So what I'm doing now is first forming the basic sleeve, a normal basic sleeve. So I'll also add 1.5 inches seam allowance, or you can add any allowance you want. And then on the sleeve opening line, on the 10 inches line, I imputed half of my sleeve opening measurement, and I also took 1.5 inches seam allowance and connected. So in case you do not understand all I have just done, I'll drop a link in the description box where I explained very well on how to cut a basic short sleeve. Now from the start line I will take 3 inches for my gathering or pleating for the puff part. So this is dependent on what you want. You can take 2 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches. So it all depends on what you want, but I'm using 3 inches for this video. So I've measured out these 3 inches. So I would note the center where I found the center of the straight line I ruled. I'm noting that point. So with my armhole curve, I'll connect from that point to the line up, the 3 inches line I made up, just as I demonstrated. So I've connected from the extra 3 inches I added to my normal sleeve. Then I will blend it down up to the cap's height line. I'm blending it so that everything will be blended. So after this I would check my measurements again and then cut out. So for this sleeve I will also cut a lining for this sleeve because I'm making this sleeve to add it to a blouse I've already made. So I'll also use this piece to cut out the lining piece. So I've cut out the sleeve and this is what it looks like. So I'll go ahead and notch the start line before where I added the 3 inches. I'll notch that point. That's where the gathering will start and end, from one end to the other. I'll also notch the center part. So this is what the sleeves look like. So I'll go ahead and line the sleeve. So I've lined my sleeve. So what I'll do now will be to hold them together, sew them together using the joining allowance, and then I would go ahead and pleat from where I notched from one end to the other. Now I will thread a needle and then use that to gather up the parts that I've notched. You can see the point I've notched, so I would thread a needle and gather them from one point, from one side of the notch. I would gather using a needle and thread, and then I will gather up to the other point where I also notched. So this is it. I've gathered it, and this is what the sleeve looks like. So all that is left is now to attach it to the armhole of the blouse. So this is it, guys, on how to make a basic puff sleeve. Thank you for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe if you are yet to subscribe to my channel. See you in my next video. Bye.